Yeah, 10 minutes ago, I said thank you all for joining us, and if you give us a follow, thank you even more. My name is Robert. I am the showrunner and producer for this nonsense that you're witnessing before you. I apologize for any inconvenience. Everything was working up until I pressed go live, so that's, I guess, standard in a lot of cases. But I'm here to run this crew of ne'er-do-wells, nerds, a couple of 5e converts, and Paizo Pathfinder stands through an adventure, a brand new adventure that I've dubbed Whisper of Doom. Whispers, because there's more than one whisper of Doom. So, yeah, thank you for joining us. I'm gonna kind of preface a little bit and say that we're gonna do like a little bit of an intro, disclaimers, talk about some house rules, maybe get to know us a little bit before jumping into the game itself. So, yeah. This is the first session of our live stream playthrough.
Many.
Many. I've got 001 marked in our foundry that you'll see soon. We're running through Paizo's standalone module Rusthenge. It'll take us from levels 1 through 4. And then after that, we'll be jumping into a very exciting campaign, 7 Dooms for Sandpoint, where we revisit the iconic settlement of Sandpoint in Paizo's and Galarian's lore. Yeah, very excited to jump into that. I've ran Rise of the Runelords many a times, and many a times not to completion. Unfortunately, that's just the way that the cookie crumbles when it comes to playing adventure paths. But we'll get through this. I believe in all of us here. I'm committed. You all said you're committed, so we'll see.
No contracts were signed.
This is true.
I am
This is true.
committed. I am 3 hours ahead of y'all, but I will do this. I will stay up into the wee hours of the night.
As
long as the
die
tab
on
hours.
Tuesdays.
Yeah, so briefly, I just want everybody to know that we are not sponsored, endorsed, or otherwise affiliated with Paizo, Discord, Bailey Wiki, Zoom, Twitch, Syrinscape, Foundry VTT, or Beans. All of which are things that we are using to empower us to play today and every Monday forward. The
last one is debatable.
Debeanable?
Debatable, exactly.
Contracts being overnighted to us for
Yeah.
beans.
With that said, there's a lot of software that I'm using to run and host this, and as you witnessed, there are some mishaps bound to happen, like death. It's inevitable. Same goes for love. Sometimes you just gotta wait for it. It'll happen, right?
Something like that, you know. In best case scenarios.
Right. So, yeah, more disclaimers. This show is shamelessly no holds bar, adults only. Top tier, shit, dick, butt, and bean jokes. But we're all consenting adults here, playing make-believe games where anything can happen, and we'll address uncomfortable topics and situations overtly so everyone feels uncomfortable equally. We do have safety tools in place for us as players, so just try to keep that in mind if we broach any topics that we feel uncomfortable with. There are signals we'll use here for us to see and then maneuver accordingly. What else? Yeah. Let's introduce ourselves a little bit more. Every group has one. We're no different. We have our resident bean expert, Cody.
Yes, hello. I am an expert on beans. I was also checking something because I saw a notification pop up and it was important to the stream. So, is it my turn to do an intro? Is that what's happening right now?
Yeah. Yes.
Good. I was hoping that someone would fill in the blank. All right. So, hi. My name is Cody, otherwise known as Bard Tales on Twitch. And yeah, I am relatively new to the ttrpg scene. I started playing roughly about a year ago. and by playing I mean being a forever DM. That has been my fate in virtually everything I do, but that is fine because I love it. So when this came up, I was very excited to apply and have been accepted, much to the questionable discernment of the show.
Again, no contracts, so see.
Again, no
We'll get there.
contracts.
We'll get there.
I'm still working on the Bush's baked bean contract, but we'll get there eventually. And someday y'all will know what that whole bean thing is about. Yeah, I'm a Michigan resident. Not to dox myself too much, but so if I am very tired on the stream, that is why. Because I will be up until 1 a.m. doing this every Monday. So yeah, that is something to know. I think that's the majority of things about me.
Hey Nick, I think we're getting a lot of feedback.
Over.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think Nick, we're getting a lot of feedback from you. Yeah, that is something to know.
What do you mean by feedback?
We're hearing the
repeat
of the stream, I think.
It might be from the Twitch tab. But anyway, I will pass that over to
It's all good.
Dylan.
All right. What's up, everybody? Really appreciate y'all coming out to watch us. My name is Dylan. I've been playing Pathfinder with Robert for going on probably 7 or 8 years now. Started with a fun little homebrew game and got hooked from there.
What's up, everybody?
I've run a few different games. I can still hear myself.
Oh, Nick, yeah, I'm still
Echo.
getting you.
Yeah, if you just want to like right-click the tab and hit mute site, that will
On what?
We're
on
so
your browser
professional.
for Twitch.
I don't have Twitch open.
Oh, somehow we're getting the feedback though.
I closed it out when you guys brought it up last time.
Oh,
Oh,
I got Zoom and Foundry. And Audacity.
weird.
so where is it coming from?
Who blames
Tech
me?
issue number 2.
We need another tech two. Tech two.
Yeah, I have it. I have it
tech.
muted. I don't hear it now.
Oh, it was Dylan.
No, I had mine muted.
Oh, the whole time.
Bamboozled. I just saw
I don't know.
the green of the Zoom
Yeah,
highlight. And
I
thought
got
it was
my
Nick, but
I got
along,
my eyes on the Zoom for
It was Dylan all along.
No, there's no way. I had it muted for a while. I don't know.
Dylan, you
Whatever.
attention whore.
Yeah, I was doing it so
You have
everybody
to
could say
listen
my
to
name
yourself.
online.
You bastard.
Yeah,
I
so
was-
I'm a narcissist. I'm gonna make this all about me as I close all my Chrome tabs.
How
Yeah, so
dare
I've
you
been.
make your intro all about you.
The truth comes
Oh
out.
God, I'm probably so red now, just blushing like crazy.
Yep,
You
you are. It's
Yeah, so
adorable
I've been-
though.
yeah, I'm normally like this, so nothing new. Been playing games for a while. Very excited to join this. If you've tuned into any of the other studio shows, you probably have heard my voice. Now you get to see my face. Probably think that I have a face for radio, which I've been told that. I've also been told I have a voice for radio. So I'll try to make it as sultry and sexy as possible. Again, feed into my narcissistic tendencies. Yeah, I will kick it over to Nick.
Okay, everybody, my name is Nick. I've been playing tabletop games for about 20 years now. I kind of stepped my game up when I started playing with Robert. Seen some new things at play here that really were really fun and interesting. I wanted to give a shout out to my friend Justin who's watching. Thank you.
What's up, Justin?
Hi,
Justin.
Hello.
I definitely very excited for this game. I don't get too red. As you see, I have a wonderful pasty complexion.
Lucky you.
And
Sweating
thus
over here.
Once the sun comes out a little bit, I turn into Mr. Krabs. But yeah, happy to be here. Excited to play with you guys. So, and I'll throw it over to Jacob.
Hello. My name is Jacob, also Spellcrashers over on YouTube. I've been the Forever DM since almost day one. I started really getting into it around like early days of Vox Machina, like Critical Role stuff. And yeah, I'm excited because I've homebrewed since day one, and I've never played a module outside of the Pathfinder beginner box. And I've never got to play in a Pathfinder campaign, so it's a 2-for-1. So I'm very excited to be here and play with all these wonderful people.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, I'm very excited to have all of you as players for me to attempt to murder. As is every goal for every GM out there.
I mean, you almost accomplished it in session 0, so.
True.
That's one thing I really like about Pathfinder 2 is that it scales also, right? The fear never really leaves early levels. Once you level up in Pathfinder 2e, it stays with you. That power creep is, I wouldn't say nearly non-existent, but it's comparable to previous editions and other tabletop RPGs that use D20s. I'm very excited to play. I'm a Paizo stan. I love everything that Paizo puts out, and everything Pathfinder. Pathfinder 2e has been an amazing venture into next edition. The rules are so much more balanced and scalable, and it just feels so concise with battle. And I love tactical battles, which is why I play this game. Role-playing is fun also. I've learned to love that as I continue to play, and the more games I do play and run, the more I find myself falling more in love with it. And I just can't get enough of it. I love listening to actual plays so much that I decided to make my own and turn it more into more of a hobby, I guess. So here we are. But before we move on, I just want to go over a little bit of our house rules here. So we are attempting to use the remaster rules. We're adjusting as we can. As it just recently come out, but not everything is memorized as one might expect from a Pathfinder stan. But I'm doing my best, doing my dangdest here. So with Pathfinder 2e, every player character gets what's called a hero point. And in hero points, I guess the equivalent for 5e would be advantage or disadvantage. And look into that on your own time, I suppose, if you want to learn more about that. But
Google it.
Google it, yeah.
Archives of Nethys is free.
It is all free and available online for you to look up and play at your own leisure. I'm kind of rebranding hero points as I had in previous podcasts and calling them obols. Sharon's obol. That was the currency used at the river of Styx for the ferryman to bring your soul across to the other side after death. Keeping with the motif of everything metal that I love, skeletons, undead, necromancy, and all that. And so we'll be calling hero points obols just for the fun of it, and we'll also be using hero point cards. And what that means is that at the beginning of a session, the players here will draw a card for every hero point that they start with and accrue throughout the narrative here. Another thing is that we'll be using the critical hit and fumble decks. So whenever a player character or a named character from my side rolls a natural 1 or 20, we'll be drawing from the critical hit or fumble deck for further effects. And we'll also be using the secret rolls. That is an amazing addition to the Pathfinder 2e rule set that adds a little bit more anxiety to the players, which I love to see. Watching them squirm is a favorite pastime of mine in any aspect of that. So essentially all rolls with the secret trait will be rolled blindly, that only I can see, and that'll typically be only done in exploration mode. In encounter mode, will be more overt with all the rolls unless they are recall knowledge checks. We'll try to stick to that as much as we can, but we can't guarantee our consistency just because that's just how games go sometimes. So, yeah. Any questions, concerns, otherwise from you all out there in internet land? Or
Email us.
yeah.
This is their one time to speak up.
Yeah.
Your one and only time.
Email us at getoveit@deathdreamstudios.web.
.web, the non-existent domain. Yeah.
I do want to make an addendum. One thing that you had said, Robert. As a fellow Paizo stan, love everything they do, except for, let's talk about their April Fool's joke today.
Oh, I missed
Oh, I
it.
didn't see it.
Oh, it upset me greatly. You should still go see it though.
I'm sure I'm gonna look right now.
But
I'll check after.
it was a Starfinder thing,
Ooh.
Oh,
and
How dare they?
exactly. First of all, I
They
love
know
that
that.
system.
That Starfinder holds our hearts so dearly.
It does. I love
Yeah.
Starfinder. That is like my primary system practically. And they
Oh,
posted it,
no.
and it was this whole video, and I got so excited because they were like, it's a thing about the gap, and I was like,
Yeah.
the gap? That's amazing. And then I was like, but it's also April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
and
So it's
then,
learn the secrets of the gap. It's like,
Right,
dude,
and then-
what? Oh,
and
that's
Jenny
brutal.
brought out the book, or I think that was Jenny. It might not have been, but she brought out the book. I was like, oh my god, there's a book. It's real. And then
It's got the new logo too.
And then I checked out the website, and sure enough, it's a giant blank ass book that
Paizo,
you
you
can actually
buttholes.
purchase for $15.
That's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, I considered it just for the sake of it.
Oh man, that's brutal.
I was so mad. So Thurman, whoever freaking did that,
Ooh, name calling.
I love you and I hate you at the same time. Sponsor our podcast, you ass.
Or don't. You're not an ass. Also, we love you.
I mean, you can love someone and they can still be an ass.
Fair enough.
True.
Fair enough.
You know
Some
what I'm
people-
gonna do? I just remembered. Not too long ago, Jared Logan accepted my friend request on Discord,
Uh
and I'm gonna send him a link.
oh no! Don't do that.
Not until episode 3 or 4 when we get the tech issues ironed out.
Yeah, just wait a little bit.
Next thing you
No.
know, he's talking about us on Blood of the Wild. He's like, this terrible podcast.
Yeah. Don't go
See.
listen.
Definitely don't listen to them fools.
Yeah.
No, you see, here's the thing. You just said that the tech issues will be fixed by episode 3. That is partially incorrect.
I'd say
We all
100%
know that-
correct.
That tech issues never truly fix.
True. Yes, they will hopefully diminish though.
They just appear in new forms.
Right. All right. You guys ready to do this?
I think so.
Ready as
Alright,
I'll ever
so,
be.
so there's no recap. So let's get into the game, where I like to say we live by the die and die by the die. TM.
Hopefully not tonight.
Put
Only
that on
live
a
by.
shirt.
Oh, I did, and look, I'm wearing it.
Oh my
Ugh.
god.
You really did.
Did
I
he
could
plan
not
that?
do
What?
Did you plan
Oh,
that?
That was
blurry,
Blurred,
folks.
it's blurred.
Oh, there
There
we
we
go.
go.
There it is.
Oh,
Focus
okay.
now? All right.
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
Censored.
Are we allowed to give out obols? Because I feel like you deserve one for that. Like,
Oh.
how long have you been holding on to that?
I hold on to all the obols already, so there's no need.
It's like a bank.
Yeah.
It's true. Action salad streaming is one big tech issue. Oh man, I was covered in flop sweat all day today leading up to this, and I'm still covered in it. I took a shower in my own flop sweat, and it's just it's everywhere. My cat's
Let's-
rubbing on my knees, and it's
What
getting
is
flop sweat on
flop
it.
Sweat?
Stagnant electricity's building up.
Is flop sweat like specifically from wearing flip flops, or like what is a flop sweat?
I guess. The definition is just like nervous, anxious sweat.
Oh, I just exist in that.
I'm gonna say that's my perpetual state of
Yeah.
being.
Like, I don't know.
Well, if you like
Let's
this
not
shirt
check.
and metal-inspired shirts, go to deathdreamstudio.net. Check out our merch there. All the designs came up from my brain, my gray matter, and I work with a metal album artist by the name of Andrzej Bartolovic, better known as by his alias, Maggot Meister. He's the artist that I use primarily for a lot of my stuff because I love his work, and I love the man also. So check him out, check his stuff out, check our stuff out, and let's get into this game.
Hell yeah.
Turn
In the
down
game.
this music
Let's do it.
smidge.
What's that
Oh,
game?
it up.
EA Sports.
EA Sport.
Yeah.
We don't do
Also
sports.
not sponsored by EA Sports as a disclaimer.
No, yeah, that'll get us.
We won't
trouble
have loot
quick.
boxes.
I don't do sports. What a sports.
Yeah, I'll be the
Exactly.
sports guy. I'll say the sports thing, and everybody will just be crickets. So I've already conditioning myself not to talk about it. Like the Sharks are playing right now, and no, that's it. That's the end of it. Moving on.
Sharks? What? They can play games?
That is
Yeah,
that.
they have
that-
freaking laser beams on their head.
Laser
I
beams.
literally just listened to a podcast where somebody was talking about the Sharks, and all the other players were like, "You talking about Jaws?" It's like, "Oh yeah, I'm the only one here who knows sports. Never mind."
Was it our podcast?
No, I was like,
Or I said that another time?
I'm pretty sure it was like on a Blood of the Wild episode.
Oh wow. Okay.
I could be wrong.
The minute that sharks are able to do anything other than swim in the ocean is the minute I quit this life. I hate sharks.
That's
My biggest fear is a shark with legs. You
that's
know?
a big Midwestern fear of
I'm
sharks.
saying.
Like a street shark?
No, those are super badass. That's different. So
Street sharks.
Um,
God.
my
That's
whole
funny.
childhood just flashed before my eyes. Trauma.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
All right, so let's switch on over to the map, shall we? Well, let me show this off a little bit too.
I went to Doro too. You're not alone.
Hopefully everything is is lined up. All right, chapter 1,
Fingers crossed.
part 1. Storms of Brewin, session 001.
So
There it is. She looks beautiful.
Pull up some of my notes here. Okay. Let's get in the mood, shall we?
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah.
Not
Not that kind of mood. Calm down.
Yeah.
Put your beans down.
It's OnlyFans time. Plot twist. This is the Dead by Daylight stream now.
I guess I should mention, if you are ever so kind and wish to donate some bits to us, for 500 bits, you can grant any player of your choice an obol. Typically, players are limited to 1 obol per session, but I'll let them hoard them for as long as they want. And if you decide to also give us 10,000, not 10,000, whoa, 1,000 bits, I'll spawn a random monster somewhere. Somehow, I'll get it into the narrative, and if they die, it's your fault, not mine.
That is so cool.
So,
I love that. I love the idea of like someone else being like, "Screw it, I'm buying this." And then they get to watch us fight something tougher, like interactive in a way. It's super cool.
until a whole army spawns, and then we're just completely fine.
Exactly.
no,
You know, some rich kid hates us, and he's like, "Haha!" You know?
I'll do my best to paste
This is
it
how
out.
we're gonna get sharks immediately.
I'll do my best to paste it out in the narrative so it makes sense somewhat.
Some
And,
rich kid who's allergic to beans.
Anti-bean bastard.
all the beans. Okay, all right. Imagine your vision is filled with darkness and silence. After a few moments, the sounds of thunder and lightning crack. Cracks amidst the constant thrum of heavy rain. The darkness begins to fade away, and our vision is filled with a dark and gray, incongruous storm cloud. Our vision begins to move through the clouds, panning downward and forward until we break free of the storm. Our vision is spattered with curtains of rain, dozens of crackling blues and white lines of lightning that caress the edges of the clouds and buzz by our ears just before another thwack of energy is released. Just beyond the haze of the rain, we can barely see the dark silhouettes of a dock, with several buildings littering around it. Most buildings are alight from within, just the size of pinheads in the distance. Our vision gently swoops downward and toward a sailboat that is just landing on a dock. In the bottom third of our vision, we see in papyrus font, because I'm old and I like papyrus still, we see the words Osprey Cove. A crewmate jumps from the boat to the dock with a rope in hand and begins trying to tie it off. Then you hear a voice. "Quickly, come on, grab your things and make haste straight to that building." You see a male halfling pop up with dark hair, wearing sailor's garb and holding a tricorn hat to his chest so as not to lose it to the wind. He points at a large building in the distance and gestures behind him, you assume towards his passengers. "Come on, get on with ya. I know this isn't Iron Harbor, but we couldn't bear the storm. We'll catch up with you there." He looks over at the young woman fighting the rope. "Come on, lass, tie her down quick. I'll try to steady her. Hurry!" As he runs and disappears to pull in the sails, we see Nick and Cody's characters emerge from the cabins below. What are your characters doing? And give us a bit of a description.
Okay. I imagine you say we're on a ship, some pretty rough weather.
Yes, and you guys are on a dock. It's the sailboat that you guys are on is attempting to be tied off right now by the crewmate and captain. You guys were on a ship, a very small, simple sailboat that its original destination was Iron Harbor, but you've had to land in Osprey Cove instead. You are on a dock in Osprey Cove, which I will show.
I imagine lots of wind and rain, and Faradir, he is very, very smart, but not very strong. So I imagine he is sopping wet, trying to hold his robes together, holding against a pole for dear life. That's what I see in my head for this.
Sure.
He's not a very large man. I'd say he's tall, but thin. The wind is probably getting the best of him.
Yeah. I think for Fen, Fen is kind of in his element. This is something that's just part of who Fen is the storm, the wind and wave. And so I think Fen in this moment would just kind of come up out of there ready to go get on shore and say, yes, I believe that Gosra has guided us here for this purpose. I feel it in the wind, I feel it in the storm. So come, my friends. Let us go ashore.
Maybe I can stand here and you can block the wind for me.
Oh no, I don't want to block the wind for you. Embrace it. It is Gosra's breath itself.
I imagine the wind just all crazy, like embrace it. He's like, what is embracing about this? You know, if you say so. And he's just super wet face, very irritated.
Yeah, it's smacking you in the face pretty hard. Feels like you're getting pelted. The sailboat that you guys, that Faradir and Fen are standing on, is being rocked pretty violently as the storm begins to pick up. You guys are barely able to hold on. Maybe you're grabbing each other into the sides of the boat as you step off and onto the dock. The crewmate is doing her best to try and tie the boat to the dock there. It seems like she's struggling pretty hard, but at the very last moment, it seems like she's able to get the rope wrapped around a piece of the dock, and you see like this relief kind of immediately come over her, and she kind of takes a breath and wipes some of the water away from her face, and then kind of gives you guys a nod, and then jumps onto the boat to continue tying the boat down and secure it. Why don't you give us a little description about each of your characters? You have a head-to-toe kind of descriptor. for Fen and Faradir?
Sure. So I like to imagine that Fen is also aiding this person with the boat, since this is kind of part of his deal. So as he is, you see in the storm and rain, this tanned-skinned human with gently curling dark brown hair that's kind of matted against his head right now, thanks to the rain. Um, and his green eyes squint into the wind and rain, um, rounded ears covered in the waters, water dripping off of his pointed nose, beard, goatee just damp and wet. Um, he is not a skinny man, he is not a fat man, he is just kind of naturally built from living in the wilds. And you can tell that he's done these sorts of things because his hands are calloused, wearing a suit of scale mail armor that's been tinted with greens and blue, to resemble the waters and vegetation of the sea. He wears a nice pair of swooshy pants, Sumerian style pants. He has a trident and a shield, and the shield bears the symbol of his god that he's mentioned, Gosre. The There's like a leaf in the center, and then like dew on the leaf, and around it, it's got like the drawings of wind that you might think of. And his trident is made of cypress. The handle is made of cypress, and the tip of the trident is silver. And he lastly has these pair of like high-laced sandals with light armoring over the shins and kneecaps. And he's a little burdened by that armor at the moment, trying to help out with this whole scenario.
Yeah. What's Faradir doing while Fen's trying to assist the captain and the crewmate tying the boat down?
So, in your mind's eye, if you were to see Faradir, you would see a 6 foot tall, very slender, dark skinned man, bald hair, dark eyes, with a normally very bushy beard. But right now, I'm sure it's a little matting down on him because it's so soaking wet. He wears purple robes, very, very similar to a noble robes in an Osirian style culture dress. It has sort of brown and orange accents to it in places. He has similar colored pants and shoes to match. And if you would see on his exposed skin, you would see lightning tattoos on his face and his hand. Though he is a thin man, he is in good shape for his age. He does have a very weathered face, lots of wrinkles. You can see that it was not uncommon for him to spend some time during his life in the sun, and that has taken its toll on his face. I imagine him trying to help, but every time he gets close, the wind kind of pushes him the other way again. He's not a strong man. I imagine he's having a hard time just standing in strong winds on a dock, you know. I think right now Faradir is internally contemplating his decisions. I'm wondering, is this going to be worth it?
What I wonder that could be.
Yeah, what is what?
All right, so as you guys are attempting to help the crewmate and the captain tie down this boat, the captain kind of you see him finishing up with bringing up the sails. He says, "Off with you! Stop touching my boat! I don't trust none of you! Get away! Go to that building over there! We got this!"
Well,
he kind
I
of
suppose.
brushes you off. We'll
what
catch
you
up with
want.
you. We'll make sure it's tied down secure.
Boat.
You would think I touched the man's wife the way he talks about this boat.
You might as well have been.
Oh, that sounds like a problem to work out in what they might call therapy.
All right, and as you guys
He fucks
step
his
off
boat.
and onto the dock and head towards that building, the boat catches a swell, and you see it almost broach over the edge of the dock, and you see like the look of fear in the captain and the crewmate's eyes. But the swell kind of dies down just a moment before the boat crashes into the dock, and they go back to work, and you guys rush off. Let's cut to the traditional tavern scene here. This being an adventure for newbies, kind of a beginning adventure that is Rusthenge. It makes sense, and I'm a sucker for tavern starts because it's just so nice. It's familiar.
Cozy and comfy.
Cozy and comfy. And yeah, we find ourselves in one of the largest buildings in Osprey Cove, though there's not much to compare it to. It's quaint, warm, and quieter compared to the storm outside, at least. We see an older woman. Blonde hair, blue eyes. Her hair is very long and tied up into braids and held together by blue ribbons. She is dressed comfortably, walking around serving up drinks and small plates of food. The place isn't quite at capacity, but it feels like it. Hear laughter, stories being told, and regaling of all sorts. Here we meet two of our other characters, player characters. Dylan, where's your character? Who are they? What are they doing? What do they
I
look
imagine that my character is either bussing tables here or behind the bar trying to buff glasses, keeping an eye out for spills. Though there probably aren't very many, but still. If there happens to be an accident, he would be ready with a mop. And this character is a human man. His name is Bertrand. He goes by Bert. Or Bertrand, he doesn't really care. Just don't call him late for dinner. Boo. Yeah, I know. Bertrand is about 6'3", pretty tall. He has long dark hair and a short cropped goatee. As he's working through the bar and present, you can see his bright features, and he's often smiling, though sometimes it might look a little sad, like he's kind of not really present mentally, though he's here working on whatever little bar tasks he can keep himself busy with. He has blue eyes set up high above, well set, high above high cheekbones. He's thin but strong, not overly built, kind of wiry. Currently, he probably doesn't have his coat on, so he's kind of just wearing a leather shirt, leather pants, leather boots, probably actually cloth pants, I would say, more casual. He's got some belt strappings around him. He would normally be wearing a hat indoors. He's not going to be wearing that hat, so I won't describe that right now. Yeah, so that's kind of what he's wearing as he's working the bar. As we see him otherwise, you might see him wearing some of these other items that just popped up on the screen there. But yeah, currently he's got his hair pulled back, sleeves rolled up, washing glasses, helping run this tavern.
Awesome. Well, hello, Bertrand. That was nobody in the game. That was me, Robert, saying hi to the character for some reason. I don't know why.
Hi. Hello, what's your name?
I'm.
I don't believe we've met, good sir.
You can call me Trevor.
Hello, Trevor. When did you get in this storm?
I've been here the whole time.
Oh, I must have been looking the other direction. I apologize.
It's all right. You've gotten rid of my cup every time I've ordered it.
Weird.
Yeah.
I've not noticed you.
That's all right. We'll go to Jacob.
Sorry,
and have him
you-
introduce his character.
Quite a forgettable man, I guess.
Well, trying to act forgettable, I would probably be not quite in the corner, not quite on a corner table, simply because that's prime real estate. I would probably be adjacent to it. Um, I'm gonna stand ahead above everyone here. Uh, Sif stands just under 7 foot tall. And while he has an imposing frame, he's actually quite thin because he is a gnoll, which is rather out of place in this village. But he tries to fit in as much as possible. And so he wears his mane quite short. It's a tousled mohawk that runs the length of his skull. He has dark brown fur, but he ties the tips of his mane, his ears, and his tail to all be reminiscent of fire, like gradients of yellow to red. Um, yeah, so I pretty much wear simple clothing, though I sport a heavy leather pullover jacket with a fur collar. Think sort of like a bomber jacket, but not quite as stylish like that. It drops down to like his upper thighs, and he wears a series of belts across his body, sort of like a backpack strap, and then kind of like two along the waist. You can see that I usually sport a hatchet and a wooden shield that I would have checked in at the door, as is customary here. And I have pants that crop off around the knees because shoes don't fit my paws very well. But I'm just pretty much kind of keeping to myself, as I usually do. The village is pretty used to me, but people don't always broach conversation with me. So I'm just standing at a table, reading my book.
Right. Awesome. Excellent. And as you're reading your book, entire tavern is interrupted as two new folk enter abruptly. We see Ben and Faradir.
I think Faradir would be shaking the rain off of his jacket. He said, "You know, Fen, I think the captain is right. I couldn't imagine how that sail would have gone if you weren't there."
Well, my friend, that is exactly why they hired me to accompany you on this mission. A mission or job or whatever you want to call it. I believe that even in the midst of the storm, Gozre was looking out for us and has guided us here, safe and sound. But as I'm sure you know, the wind and wave are not always going to be so kind or delicate. Gozre is a good god, but not always predictable.
Yes, I would hate to see what they would do if they weren't keeping an eye on us.
I hope that day never comes. I pray it never comes. But at least for now, we are dry, or we will be dry soon.
As you guys kind of burst into kind of unexpectedly, this woman kind of, as she's putting down a plate and a drink at a nearby table, she says, "Oh, hello. Please have a seat anywhere." You guys kind of look around. There's a couple open tables. There's a place at the bar.
I am going to sit outside.
There's no seats outside.
Well, darn. I was hoping for patio service. So
She says, "You're more than welcome to sit outside, though we don't have any seating."
well, I suppose in that case, I will just take this table over here. This one, it will do.
Is there a fire in here?
Yes, there's a large fireplace at the center of the tavern, and it is warm enough to keep the entire tavern.
I think Faradir would sit somewhere near the fire. He's probably cold and wet, and You can imagine him stringing out his beard and his robe and probably just jump in the water on the floor.
Okay.
Yeah. It's probably safe to say that Fen would follow. He's assigned here with him, and Fen may enjoy storms, but he also doesn't mind being dry.
Bert's kind of like, oh, damn, I got to go mop that shit up now. Just kind of thinking like, oh, that's a big puddle. Well, all right. Files it away.
I'm just pretending I'm not paying attention, just kind of reading my book, and I have an eye cocked up then and now, but sticking to myself for the most part right now.
Yeah, it's been a long time since Osprey Cove has seen any guests, visitors, or otherwise. So maybe we could even say that Bertrand may have been like the last new person that Osprey Cove has seen in months, maybe.
Yeah, he's been in town for about 7 or 8 months or so.
So, Ordwy, the pub owner, she walks over to you, Bertrand, and says, "Why don't you see what our new guests are here for?" And she says, "Don't worry about mopping. I'll take care of that."
He gives her a smile and, all right, I'll go check it out.
Give them a seat and make sure they're comfy and see what they need. And she takes them off from your hands and begins to go to work on the floor.
What is the name of the tavern? Does it have a name?
It doesn't have a name.
Got it. Perfect. Just making sure that I did not overlook that. Okay. Yeah, Bert will walk over, kind of put his arms out in a welcoming gesture and say, "Good evening, friends. Welcome to the tub." Say tavern and pub at the same time.
It's now known as the Tub.
Welcome to the tub?
It's canon now.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that's why Faradir dumped the water.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I thought I was going to take a bath here. It's a tavern and a pub, so that's why they call it that. I just made that up. Don't tell Ordwy. She might not like it. But anyway, welcome to town. Is there something I can get you to make your stay here more comfortable? Looks like you've taken up by the fire here to dry off. Afterwards, feel free to take a table anywhere you'd like, but get you an ale. What do you have?
I could really start with a nice hot bean water. Do you have any coffee?
Oh, that. All right. Yes, we might. I'll have to see. Nobody really orders coffee here, but
translates
not at this
different.
late. Yeah, no coffee, but I've never had bean water. I'll file that one away. And he kind of like looks away like, that's weird. And for you, my friend.
Oh, well, I don't suppose you have... Well, actually, what kind of ales do you have here?
It's a rotating tap, and we just put a new keg in, and I don't know where it's from. Is this something you'd like? I could see what we've got in the back.
Well, I was also going to say an alcoholic form of bean water, but I don't know that is made here.
Mix some things together.
Do you have any Baileys to put in there?
Yeah. Yes, we might. I usually don't take orders, so I'm not good at this. I usually just clean and like wipe shit up, but Ordwy asked me to come over here, so
just give me whatever you have on tap. I am not going to be picky.
Perfect. I've had 3 of them already tonight. They're delicious.
Tap water it is.
So, yeah, he'll go grab a coffee and an ale and bring it back over.
It's just White Claw.
Yeah, exactly. Moonshine. I actually don't. No, I'm not gonna. It's getting too silly. That's not within his character. Yeah. Well, I've been here for a while. We haven't had any new people coming to town. What brings you in?
I will let my friend Faradir explain that, as I am merely hired to be an escort.
Ooh, you are handsome.
Oh, well, thank you. That is another service that I do offer, but we talk about that one under the table.
All right. See how many more pints I have tonight? I'll keep my eye out.
Oh, got me, dude.
I am a different type of escort, at least for today.
Perfect. I understand. And he taps the side of his nose. Well, I heard you on Amphiria. You can call me Bert. I'll say it more clearly. Bert. Bert.
He would reach on forward. Nice to meet you, Bert.
Yeah, shake your hand, give you a strong handshake.
You would feel that his is not strong.
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to crush your hand there.
That's okay.
But anyway, let's if you don't mind sharing your story. Like I said, not a lot of newcomers here, so it's nice to see a new face. I'd like to hear your story if you don't mind.
Oh, my story, it starts a long time ago.
Like just a short version, Mike, like the elevator pitch, as it were.
Oh, okay. Well,
Back in World War II.
Yeah. I was born.
well,
Picture it, Sicily, 1926.
I'm actually here on business. I have some things to attend to for a friend, and I think I'm here just more of resting for the night after such a rough sail. They say that those were calm waters. That's funny.
You know, it's true.
I think I have to go back. That's,
You're not much of a sailor, then, I'll take it.
no, every now and again on the boat back to Syrian to see the grandparents, but I haven't done that in a long time.
Understood.
But I have my friend Ben here, specifically coming along with requested by the captain, and now we're here.
All right, well,
That's our story.
it's good to have you, and hope you find the tub, as it were, to your liking. Again, if you need anything else, you can ask me or Ordwy over there, and he points to Ordwy, who is presumably mopping up their mess now.
Yeah, she's done at this point and kind of has returned to the bar and is taking orders there, and she's kind of maybe even looking at Fen, and maybe while you guys are having that conversation, she kind of leans over to Fen and says, "What do you make of the newcomers, Fen?"
Sif?
To Sif, yeah. Sorry. Thank you.
It's like
I make a lot of myself, actually.
I lean in.
Well, they clearly have an interesting perception of the weather. The storms have been quite bad. Bertrand's clearly just humoring them. I don't really appreciate them dumping it all on the floor and putting you to work, but they're not from here. I'm not going to hold it against them.
It's all right. I mean, it's nice to give Bert a break every once in a while. Almost forgot your character's name there.
don't worry. I don't know it yet either.
Figured it'd do him some good to get to know some guests, and it seems like I get the feeling that he's itching for something else. Maybe getting out of here soon. I hope. I have the same feeling of you too.
I would love to see some change of scenery as well. Not that I always appreciate your company, of course. But I recognize that. Look, are you expecting me to go over there and talk to them? This whole tavern is full of humans, and you want me to walk over and impose upon them? It may not go over well.
Why would I do that? No, you've got a very keen eye, and you're very observant. Just was looking for some insight into your thoughts about these new guests, just as I had when Bertrand showed up.
I know. I know everyone wants me to have new friends. I know.
And you should.
I'll try.
I'll walk over. Not very socially graced. I'll just walk over and kind of stand at my 7-foot height over both of these two men sitting on the floor, drinking, and I'll just hold up a cup.
Oh wait, hold on. You guys are on the floor? I thought.
Oh, at a table. My apologies.
Okay.
I'm sure we're standing on the floor.
They're like right on the hearth, like getting as close to the fire as they can.
That's what I was
I'm
thinking.
sitting crisscross applesauce, just
Yeah.
like.
There'd be at least a table by there, so you guys, you don't have to. Be adorable. too.
Wherever abouts, I'll walk over and at my full height, just kind of.
Cheers to you, gentlemen. I saw that you already met my friend Bertrand. Welcome to town.
Hello.
Well, cheers,
Hey,
new
fellas.
friend.
This is Sif. He's been here as long as I've been here. He's a good
Oh,
guy. He likes to
longer.
read.
Yes.
What are you reading tonight, by the way?
Ah,
Didn't mean to put you on the spot. It's okay if you don't like to share.
no, I don't suppose you'll quite find it too interesting. It's, well, it's of the tales of Thessalonian and sort of the history over there of the last mostly 60 years or so, but kind of goes back into the century. It's a textbook from the kids' school, but it's one of my favorites, so I read it on nights of comfort.
Understood. I don't hold that against you. I've got a couple of books that I wish I could still read from in a similar vein, but those have been lost to the waves of the ocean. Gozra's reclaimed them from me, as it were.
Hmm.
Hold on tight to that one if it brings you that much comfort. He
Oh,
gives him a
well.
wink.
Of course, not understanding the context.
Yeah. Yeah, just trying. He's trying to bring Sif in again as a knoll. He's not sure. He's kind of aware that they might not be used to. Fen and Faradir might not be used to seeing that type of thing. So he's trying to be a friendly mediary to basically like vouch for him as he's standing there. And though he doesn't know Sif, Bertrand doesn't know Sif super well. He's obviously seen him around and had enough dealings with him to know he's a cool guy.
I imagine it's like an overcomplicated version of Have You Met Ted? No, it's like a thing they do. It's like, it's like, hey, have you met this guy? And he's like, that's how I saw it in my head. But I think Faradir would respond with the reading. That actually sounds like a very interesting subject.
Oh, are you a fellow student?
I am a student, but of a different type. I'm a barrister. I study the law, but I still find many topics of all types interesting and fun to read.
Oh,
I imagine there's a spare chair there, so I'll pull up the chair and sit down without asking, and then I kind of look at Faradir's.
as Bertrand mentioned, my name is Sif, Simon Forson, but everyone around here calls me Sif. What was your name?
I'm Faradir, and he would reach his arm out and shake.
Faradir, I shake with an overly large hand.
A pleasure to meet you, and your companion, Sif.
I hold up my hand.
Yeah, Fen would definitely reach out and shake your hand, and I feel like Fen would have somewhat of a decent perception that you're a little nervous, and Fen would just be like, "Oh, don't worry, my friend. I know we are not from here, but where we are from is quite diverse. So you are among good company. So relax, enjoy. You are among friends."
I try to lean back in my chair a little bit.
Right.
Clearly still somewhat uncomfortable, but attempting socialization.
I imagine Faradir, you didn't have this book out at all, did you? Did you bring this book out and set it down, or did you just sit down?
It's been closed, and I brought it in my spare hand, the other hand holding the drink, which is now on the table.
Okay. I imagine you sort of sitting down and shaking his hand. He would be like, maybe perhaps if we have some more time sometime, we could go over some of the things in this book. I think I would be happy to learn some of these things, but perhaps not tonight. It has been a long trip.
It is a dense text, but if you're in town, then absolutely.
Are they around for everyone? Bert's
Yes.
like working, but also trying to have fun. So
I just
Only
sit
if you
nervously.
participate with us.
well, I think Ordru might let me off a little early tonight. We'll see. I'll bank some good karma with her.
Well, you've already had 3 on the shift, no?
That was between us. Keep it down, please. She does pay me, not well, kind of. I just help her out. Anyway, sometimes I take an ale or two. It's a problem.
She's definitely caught you, but she just shrugs it off, and she doesn't.
Yeah, and again, like it's not really a problem. He's just has a pint every now and then. Again, he's kind of working for free since we haven't gotten there yet. I'm not going to divulge too much information.
It's not a problem. I can stop whenever I want.
Yeah, and he stops for like 5 seconds and is like, "But I actually tonight's not the night." And he goes back in, and has another sip.
He says, "Problem? I don't have a problem drinking at all."
Yeah, goes down smooth.
Kicks the several mugs behind him into the background.
He's not a drunk, but he can handle himself. He's been on the open ocean where you don't have clean water and you drink alcohol to make it by. So
Before Bertrand's even able to get up from the table to get another round of drinks for everybody, Ordwy is already there with some appetizers and drinks for everybody there.
oh, Ordwy,
She says,
you shouldn't have.
Well, we don't get new visitors often, so I figure this might be a good time to celebrate. And she kind of gives everybody a wink and a smile.
Bertrand
but
will
you
pat
are
her
too
hand.
kind.
While everyone's waiting, I just immediately go for the small bit of dry jerky on the side of the plate.
Ben sees a small amount of beans on this charcuterie appetizer, and it's just like, oh, they have them.
Yes, Ordwy's baked beans.
Beautiful. Now available at the tub.
At the tub, you get a tub of baked beans. As when you spend more than 5 silver pieces there.
Sif's always trying to give away the secret, you know?
I
All
got
right.
that joke.
I get it. Yeah.
Are there? Yeah, it's the storm is still going on strong. It's probably been maybe 20-30 minutes since Fen and Faradir have entered the tavern here. There is a second floor where there's rooms available. There's probably about four to 5 rooms. I'll say 4 rooms. One of them is currently taken up by Bertrand, an offering from Ordwy to hold him over until he can find some other means for himself. Whether or not he divulges that, it's to be seen. But it's quiet, it's warm, it's quaint, and it's comforting in a lot of ways for everybody here. And this kind of just seems like the norm here in Osprey Cove. And Fen and Faradir, maybe you feel a little bit reminiscent of the Rusty Dragon Inn and at Sandpoint. What's going through each of your characters' minds right now?
I think Bertrand is excited to meet some new people. Osprey Cove is a little smaller than cities that he's used to. He obviously prefers to spend his time out on the water as a sailor, but his time here has gone by pretty slow. So he's excited to see some people, especially knowing that they came in on a boat. He's trying to get close to them and figure out what's going on to see if he might be able to hitch a ride on this ship and not necessarily get out of town because he needs to. It's just he's kind of got cabin fever here and he's longing for the ocean. So he's hoping that he can befriend these newcomers and potentially join them on whatever they move on to. Just seeing what that option might be. So he's excited to get to know them.
Nice. Sif?
I'm excited, but I also have suspicions. Especially because I've recently, heard about some particular ruins nearby, and now these people show up. So I'm just trying to put two and two together, and is it just happenstance, or is it something more? So I haven't pulled out my notebook yet while I'm around them, but I'm going to have a lot of notes to jot down and some red lines to draw tonight when I head home.
Break out the yarn.
Interesting. Ben?
Yeah, I think Ben is fairly Ben's a fairly sociable person. He's very open to most people, but he's also hired as essentially Faradir's guide and somewhat guardian. So while he is being plenty friendly and sociable, he also is a bit on guard, just to make sure that this is actually a safe area, safe place. And I think he's also keeping an eye on the storm too, and just kind of watching it occasionally. Maybe even feeling even though he's not been here before, just on his general knowledge of storms and the area, something might feel off to him, about how heavy this one is.
Okay. Yeah, the storm is very heavy, and I imagine he's done enough research even before this journey from Sandpoint to here to know that these islands are known to get hit with storms, but not of this caliber. It seems very strange and unusual. Yeah, the storm was bad enough for you guys to detour from your original destination, Iron Harbor, to Osprey Cove, which is just a bit way south of your original destination. So maybe he's pondering that a bit. Faradir, what's going on in his brain? What's he thinking?
Faradir is probably already homesick. I imagine he spends a lot of time indoors, and when he's outside, it's still inside Magnamar, so it's not really outside, Sure, there's sunlight on his face, but he's in civilization, and so this is sort of a new thing for him. He's not really sure. He's not excited about this. He's hoping to get this over with. He is happy the fact that the people he has come along with so far all seem to be very, very kind to him, because he is not a strong man and he knows it. They hired help. So he's grateful for the fact that he's come to such a different place, and he's so far treated with respect.
Cool. Sweet. All right. So, after you guys are having your conversation, maybe getting to know each other a little bit better, the captain of your ship and the crewmate come in. Captain first, with a surprisingly amount of strength, shoves the door open and it's just all curses. Raza, Faza, Frizza, Raza, fucking Kaka, Storm, Kazra, be damned! And he comes storming in, walks right up to the bar with agility you might not expect from a halfling, or maybe you would. Gets right up to the bar and slams his sopping wet tricorn hat down onto the bar, and he says, "I'll take an ale." And then the crewmate, the woman that he's with, sits right next to him, and she says, "I'll take one too." And Ordui obliges.
Is the first mate a halfling too?
No, she's a human woman. Ginger hair. Fan and Faradir know her as Jenny Jensen, and the captain is Nar Weetooth, Captain Weetooth. And the ship is called Weetooth's Way.
I'm never gonna hear that captain's name and not think of my Australian friends going "nar."
We watch a lot of Bluey here, so yeah, it's a lot of nah,
And
nah,
No.
oh no.
I get some Bluey in my house too.
I like to watch clips of it, but I don't watch the whole episodes because I don't have a child to watch them.
You
with.
don't need to have a child to watch Bluey. There's a lot
This
of
is accurate.
excellent life lessons in every episode. It'll make you
It's
cry.
basically free therapy based on what I've seen. So I'm here for it. I think Fen also clutches his pearls a little bit at the Gosra slander coming from the captain.
Yeah, I think.
I was thinking slander too. I mean,
yeah, Bert definitely was, maybe not pearl clutching, but might have been sipping on his ale and kind of went down the wrong pipe and was taken aback by it.
Grip on Trident Titans.
Yeah.
Arthur meme.
The captain's sulking as much as he can as a halfling at a very tall bar, looking down at his mug of ale. And you see Jenny, she's kind of looking around a little bit, kind of wide-eyed. She looks like she's trying to take it in as much as she can. Fen and Faradir would know that this is maybe her first journey and expedition with Captain Weetooth. But it seems like Captain's got a lot on his mind right now.
I think I just kind of turn back and look at the two at the bar and then look at the guys at the table and say,
So they with you?
For better or worse, yes.
they brought us here.
Is that a question?
It's like he's more of like it's more of a response. He's like, they brought us here. I would say we're with them, but we came with them.
I understand how ships work.
Are you sure we can go into great detail about it?
I just look at Bertrand. Look back.
You just like it down.
That is called a halfling.
I just take a drink and kind of disengage from the conversation.
Did we? I don't know. I think that your explanation of coming through town was just that you're on a job to go somewhere else, right? Like, you're not really giving us more details than that as we're hanging out. I've heard from Fen that he's kind of just hired along for the job, but that's more his perspective of it. I'm just curious if there's more details that you would share, Faradir, about what your job is that you were going for.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was like fair game to throw out there at this point, but
Yeah.
so Bert, well shit, I guess
It's all right. You can
um
tell me, mate.
out of character, it's hard to like put into words.
No, I was. You don't have to share if it. I was just curious if it was like you were withholding that intentionally or not.
I don't think he's intentionally withholding. I just think it's not on his mind right now. I think he's
Totally fair.
He's like, the day is done, the work hours are over, we are in the after hours, and like, I think he plans on picking that back up in the morning.
Cool. Well, I'm
I
glad
think
that
now he's just pumping back coffees.
There you go.
Pulling an all-nighter? Or that decaf?
He just thinks it's coffee. It's actually literally just bean water.
It's
Like,
Yeah.
bonzo bean water that's been soaking for a day and a
Yeah.
half.
Smells like a fart.
exactly. They basically made kombucha out of it at this point.
Yeah.
Bean
Well-
bucha.
I think Bert would express gratitude that they're not outwardly from Zin Edasaril, the Thessalonian capital, here to collect taxes. He's heard some in character, you would say, heard some rumblings about that, and I'd like to not be here when it kind of comes around and actually happens. Just doesn't seem great. So they got this nice little thing going here in Osprey Cove, and nobody else really comes around to help them out. So it doesn't seem they should be paying anything. Anyway, I've been drinking, so I start to talk about politics. It's uncouth, pardon me. But
No,
anyway,
no,
I'm glad you're not those people here to collect the taxes.
Though I'm not those people, politics can be sort of my thing.
Who
it's
did you
what I
vote
do.
for last election? No, it doesn't matter.
I continue to put Gazra on the ticket, but they do not count it.
You know, I've done that a few times. He'll never come down and run our government.
I
Anyway.
never say never. He is fickle.
There's a Gazer connection here, it seems like.
Mm-hmm. I mean, man of the sea. He's a sea man.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
That was an
Wow.
easy one, Robert. That was easy.
I'm easy. What can I say?
Oh,
Huh?
back to the other escort mission.
Exactly. Yeah. It is after
Robert is
hours.
our escort.
My wife is watching.
Yes.
Oh, she'll be watching, all right.
Oh, shit.
So, Bert, you were talking about a tax collector. Is this tax collector some sort of problem around here?
No, not necessarily, but
You have rights, you know.
well, I don't really live here. I haven't registered to vote, as it were. I don't have a permanent address, but no, just something I've overheard Audrey talking about. Her name is a tongue twister, Ordwy. Ordwy. Heard Ordwy talking about them coming by, and it we don't really want them to, based on my understanding. So
Yeah.
if they would stay the fuck away, it might be better.
You say we have rights. Do you have experience with this taxman?
Well, I don't have experiences with taxmen specifically, but I have experiences with laws and tax laws. So, I guess by association.
Certainly a dry subject. Explains why we have a shared interest in Thessalonian law.
The nice thing
Yes.
about living on the outskirts of the society is that I don't have to pay taxes.
See, that's right. I'm used to just being on a boat, and if somebody needs something, you either give it to them or you take it from them if you need it. communism, I guess.
And if you need, you stab them.
Seems
Yeah.
like Gozra takes the taxes that they need.
Exactly. All the taxes go to Gazra. Definitely not our coin pouches.
I'm of no follow. I wouldn't judge if you took one from your god.
Well, to be fair, Gazra demands different sacrifices. So,
Yes,
The-
look
the
outside
money.
right now.
yeah. I'm trying to lure an old person into a trap as we speak. But
Faraday? Was it Faraday?
not him. I'm paid specifically not to
Ah.
sacrifice him.
Oh, I get it. Makes sense. Faraday, are you like, you have tax lore?
Nah, he has legal lore. but
Okay, got
Close
it.
enough.
Okay.
Well, yeah, close enough.
Law, taxes, I mean, you know. They kind of go hand in hand.
Not used to the law of the land. It's like I said, mostly just ship communism, but learned a lot here in Osprey Cove, and guess it's done good for me.
I want ship communism on a shirt.
Make it happen.
Good.
Right, with a pirate, Jolly Roger.
As soon as we hit affiliate status on
Exactly.
Twitch, we could do these things. Which I think, honestly, we might have already hit it at this point.
I don't know what that means, but let's do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's up to you,
I can
listeners.
inform you later.
Audience, I'm new to social media and streaming because I'm old.
Yep. MySpace.
I am also old.
MySpace. You guys ever heard of No, never mind. I'm gonna detract that.
Get back on track.
We can,
Five people
talk
just
about
turned us
that.
off.
Yeah. Never heard of MySpace.
I
Yeah.
like the conversation so far. You guys are doing wonderful.
Faradir says, I deleted my MySpace.
It's just a piece of paper that he burned.
Trevor asks, "Did you
Yeah.
back up all of your blogs before you deleted it?"
His space was actually his house, and it got caught on fire.
Yeah, and the backup
MySpace,
logs.
Yeah. All of my property burned up. Yeah,
What do
I
you
don't know.
find yourself here doing, Bert? I see you're not from here, but I see you're working here. Did you just pass through, or did you wash up ashore?
If you're joking, it's weird that you would say that because it's actually what happened. There's a storm, not quite as bad as this one, but it was a small ship, and the captain was, shall we say, inadequate, and well, I don't really recall exactly what happened. I just woke up afloat in the ocean and swam and survived the storm. Adrift on a door. Could have held two people if it needed to. It's a weird Titanic reference. And then we just made it. I woke up on the sands and yeah, been here about eight months, and it's weird. I believe Gosra brought me here for a reason. I could have drowned easily. Do have good bits of luck though, so I could attribute it to that, but survived. Thankfully, no thanks to that captain again. I've been here trying to save up some money, some coin, to join up on another ship. Surprisingly, for how many docks there are, there's not too many outside ships that come into Osprey Cove. One of the first ones I've seen in a while, and honestly, I'd like to join up with you if there's space, but the halfling captain there seems a bit ornery. Doesn't like Gozra. Don't know how you survived, Ven. But
My
Yeah.
appreciation for Gazra outweighs that halfling's angry outburst.
I mean, Bert hasn't seen the ship, so he can't really judge, like, if it's a big boat and he could jump on. As far as he knows, only 4 people came off of it, so There might be room, there might not. He's holding out hope.
Can I come, please?
Yeah. I promise I'll take care of all my stuff.
You're giving me some Roadhouse vibes.
Not seen that.
I haven't seen the
but
new one.
So I literally did wash ashore. It's weird. Why would you ask me that? Does that happen often? Everybody here seems to think it's crazy that I survived it.
No, I just random thought.
All right. I'll believe you for now. He's just kind of just joking with him. He smiles.
Sif jots down another mental note.
We all
Sabotage
like
my ship.
hear his pen, and we're like,
You hear his mental note pen.
Yeah, exactly. He thinks he's doing it
Thanks,
inside,
guys.
but in reality,
He's
he's
writing it out in
actually
He's whispering out loud.
he's
what his
whispering
thought is.
mental notes
Yeah.
in the corner.
Bertrand
With a
doesn't
little-
like Faraday. That's not true, but oh no. Sorry. Close the tab. Yeah, so he kind of relays that story. How he showed up here, and again, it's interesting that you could predict that. You must be some kind of oracle or something.
no, just an old man.
That's exactly what an oracle would say.
Not every old man is an oracle, but every oracle is an old man.
Exactly.
Even the lady ones.
Mhm.
Even the lady ones.
Yep,
Don't be surprised.
it's true.
Ben's been awfully quiet.
Yeah, I think, Fen is just kind of, he is here with Faradir as part of essentially the reason that, he was hired along. And so Fen's agenda being here is primarily to, be with and guide, protect Faradir, and everything else is just kind of happenstance, at least for now. But I think hearing Bertrand being a follower of Gazra and kind of some of his story, which making sure I remember right, because it's getting around that point to where my mind is leaving my body. Bertrand nearly drowned and was rescued, if I'm remembering right, and had attributed that to either Gazra or luck. So
Mostly Gazra, but he does have stints of good luck and then bad luck in his past, where he's ridden luck high and then had streaks of bad luck. So he could be either, but he also attributes that kind of streak to Gazra. So
yeah, so I don't know. I think Fen would at least acknowledge that and just say, yes, Gazra has rescued many of us from both wave and sea and even fire in some instances. And his eyes are a little sullen when he says that. And kind of comes back into it after he says that and has that moment. He kind of looks, I think, at Sif at this point, and it's just like, so, as I said, we come from a place that is quite diverse. As this place has a little bit of diversity going on, it appears. But how did you end up here? I mean, I don't mean to offend you in any capacity. It is, it seems like rare for a gnoll to be in these parts.
I've been the only gnoll in Osprey Cove, yes. I grew up here. I was found on the edge of the village and taken in by a very kindly woman who still teaches
Oh, that is quite nice. Is she still with us? I hope.
Yes, yes. Miss Claudia. She's our local school teacher.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh.
it's where I learned to read and really got my fondness of knowledge. I very much enjoy learning new things and exploring. It's my day job is research assistant.
I see.
Yes.
In some ways I can relate to you as well. I was also rescued, um,
Hmm.
and well, lived on the outskirts on purpose after a point. But um, yes, the kindness of strangers never ceases to amaze me. Um, I hope that you will find us equally as good company, and hopefully we can meet Miss Claudia at some point and um, just to meet another friendly face in the area. I think would be beneficial. For we do not know how long we will stay here.
It's certainly possible. Um, well, kind of hold my glass up. You two have been agreeable so far, so I do appreciate these conversations.
We'll see what happens after the fifth ale. I do not promise anything after the fifth ale.
I would like to see my way home then.
The fifth ale is when I go back to my other escort services.
Oh no. Or oh yes.
A knoll would be new territory for me.
Oh my goodness.
I may not be a furry, but
You said under the table. Is that why the tax guy's here?
I
mean,
just look really confused and drink.
it could be eventually.
All right. So before, the hell's your character's name, Cody? Fen. Before Fen is able to get to their fifth ale, the tavern is again interrupted by a burst through the door. You see Bertrand and Sif. You recognize Elder Johavia. She is a half-elf, essentially a healer of Osprey Cove. She bursts through the door with a man in her arms, and they both fall over and onto the floor. The man is moaning, and she is saying, "Help! Help! Somebody help me!"
I'll immediately get up and rush over. Is the man injured?
It's hard to tell at this moment. He is covered in. He's just sopping wet, and wearing just like robes and clothes, garments that you've never really seen before, and colors you've never really seen before. Completely different set of attire compared to residents of Osprey Cove.
Jahavia, what's going on?
Here,
Is
help
this
him!
man okay?
Help him on the table. And some folks kind of move out of the way as you and Elder Johavia heft this man upon the table. And he looks very sick. You don't recognize him. And it looks like he's breathing heavily. He is dressed from head to toe in like these dark gray and black leathers, like sharp-toed black boots, and he's got what looks like a holy symbol of some kind, wooden holy symbol around his neck. His face is pockmarked, and he's got like this orangish kind of red tinge to his skin that seems to be seeping up from underneath his shirt and onto his face, and his eyes almost have this deep orange and red discoloration to the iris. and he's breathing heavily and looking up at you and past you even.
He's gonna die now, probably.
Sorry, I don't get have a remove affliction yet.
Ugh.
Can
Yeah.
I looking at him, can I like examine and see if I can understand what is going on?
Yeah, absolutely. You can roll a medicine check. Put that in the check there for, or put that in the chat there for you.
Right. Let's see. Select at least one token. I lost Sif.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if we have tokens on this layer.
Oh, you don't. So if you go just to the actors tab on the top right of the, just above the chat,
Mm-hmm.
you should see the party folder. Open
Yes.
that up and then double click on your character there.
Okay.
I think Bert would be over there too, even though he's not a medic at all. But knowing Elder Jahavia,
All right. Where's my medicine? Medicine.
I don't know what
Okay.
to do.
And
Yep,
five,
any of you can
blind
attempt
gem.
to roll this as a secret check, please, if you're investigating or looking over the body and have medicine trained.
I don't. Can I do like perception for wounds, or like I don't know what he can do.
Yeah, you can roll perception.
It's kind of whack, but
He's got a strange holy symbol as well.
How do you feel about me using nature?
You can do that. DC might be a little higher, but you can go for it. Just make sure it's a secret check.
First rolls of the campaign, guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
and we don't know what we got.
Oh,
Critical
well,
fail.
Exactly.
Brad.
He just
Four
dies.
natural
We kill
ones.
him by looking at him.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. So
Well, that's a good skill. We
Sif,
could just kill all the bosses.
Sif, with your medicine check, you are able to determine, as you're kind of looking over his body, you see that he's got a broken crossbow bolt sticking out of his side. It looked like as maybe he was dragged, or as he may have attempted to try to remove this bolt from his side. It broke, and you're able to like maybe move his cloak aside and see that there is a stuck bolt, and it looks like there's some kind of residue on it, and that residue you're able to recognize as centipede venom.
Oh. Do I know how to counteract it, or is it just something that has to run its toll?
You're not sure at the moment. It's kind of hectic right now, so this is just, that's kind of the first thing that comes to your mind as Bertrand walks up and kind of looks over the body also. You're looking at his body and like just his face and his the clothes that he's wearing. You can see that his body looks like it's a lot more. It looks a lot thinner than it had been. Like the clothes that he's wearing, he should probably be like, these clothes should be a little bit more form fitting. And it looks like his body is atrophied very rapidly, which is strange.
If you share that centipede venom bit, could I do, or could Bert do a thievery for like poison? I don't know if that applies in the same way.
Yeah, as soon as you walk up, I would just...
It does, but
Centipede venom. Where did you get this, man? Who attacked him?
Elder Jahidia says, I found him just outside. It looked like he had been walking, but he was crawling. He must have fell, and he was very close to here, so I just brought him in. I don't know what's happened to him. And she kind of just looks over him a little frantic, and she pulls out from her pouch a healer's kit and starts going through it as you guys are looking over this man's body. Fen, with your nature check, as Sif kind of looks over the venom and the residue from the bolt, you're able to confirm that it is definitely giant centipede venom, and I'd say with the roll that you got, that that only. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out the best way to divulge this information without revealing too much.
You're doing great.
There's a specific group of people known as Durgar that are known to use giant centipede venom to coat their weapons. But it is very strange to see that here.
So, in that case, I think as Fed is observing this, he would be relaying that to the party. Like, not only is this giant centipede venom, but like the primary people who use it being the Dwergar. And that would give Fen cause for concern.
Sorry, real quick, Fence. So you would also know that the centipede venom would have nothing to do with the way that this man's skin and muscles have atrophied.
Okay. So, in that case, Fen would kind of walk up to what's going on and just be like, I have seen giant centipede venom do numerous things. I have had to cure it myself a handful of times. This is not the result of any centipede venom. This is something far more sinister.
There's a crossbow bolt in his side with venom. You're saying that this isn't responsible for his pain?
It may have something to do with it, but it is... Centipede venom should not be doing this to his body. This is too rapid. This is too violent.
I wonder what could be causing these symptoms.
Would Fen be able to maybe roll... maybe occultism?
To try and figure out what?
Essentially, because like, if I'm understanding what you had divulged, Fen understands that what is happening to this man's body is not a result of the centipede venom, and feeling that there is something more sinister going on. I think Fen would be on the lookout for any indication of like, okay, it's not the venom, so what else could be going on with this bolt or this injury?
Okay. Go ahead and roll that secret occultism check, and I see Fairdeer rolled an occultism check also. What was your intent in that roll, Fairdeer?
Well, once there was a mention that the obvious stuff wasn't it, and there was some things that were clearly seemed non-natural.
So along the same lines. That means you rolled a natural 1 on your secret occultism check, so you'll at least hear that. Did you guys hear that?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. That's just for the audience then.
That's cool.
And now you know what you rolled, then. But, okay, so Fairdeer and Fen were rolling these checks along the same lines to try and figure out what, if not the centipede poison, could be causing this man's body to atrophy.
It's too dark for me to figure out, and I fear I do not know a proper spell to be able to remove this.
Yeah, Fairdeer, you're under the same impression. It's not centipede venom. It's got to be something else. But as Fen surmised, that whatever overcame this man's body happened too fast and too violently.
Is the elder treating him?
She's trying to, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Can I aid her as I'm also medically inclined?
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll a secret aid check.
Would detect magic do anything?
You can try it.
Would
sailing lore do anything?
You can try it.
Would I be able to cast
got
guidance
scurvy.
on Sif?
For the aid?
Can't do shit. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll allow it. So I'll bump that up. That secret roll. That is enough to aid. in Elder Jehoiada's attempts to cure this man of whatever is happening to him. As you three are kind of working in tandem to try to stabilize this man, you see his eyes start to kind of glaze over, and his breathing gets heavier and deeper, and he starts grasping outward and upward towards Yusuf. And he says, "Iron Harbor, Rust ship, all dead. There, all dead. You, before, too late." And then, with his last gasp, he lets go of your collar, Sif, and you see that he's expired. He goes limp, and any further attempts to give life back to this man are failing. And Elder Jehoiada is tearful, eyes are welled up with water, and she's still trying to try and do anything to bring him back to life. The entire tavern is silent, and as you all maybe are kind of maybe you feel a little bit outside of your bodies as you kind of watch this unfold on the table in front of you. We'll call that the episode.
Oh. He died right in front of us.
Dun, dun,
He expired
dun.
like a bad can of beans.
Bad to the bean.
Did he say Rusthenge before he died?
He said, "Rust ship."
And title card.
Exactly, yeah.
Cinema Sins enters
Yeah.
the chat.
I was gonna say, he said the thing.
In papyrus, Rust
And then he breaks the fourth wall and looks at the camera. Rusthenge. And then dies.
Well, that was fun. It was a good first episode. You guys got a little bit of backstory unfolded for each of you there. And I'd like to thank all of you listeners and watchers, observers, Twitch folk.
Yes.
Thank you all for watching and tuning in. It's much appreciated. And if you like what you see, come back for next week. Give us a follow. Join our Discord. Check us out. Hang out. We love to talk shop about everything having to do with TTRPGs and adjacent hobbies. We are huge nerds, big fans of it and other podcasts and actual plays as well. So come hang out, come kick it, and join us for more next week. And yeah,
And
that's it.
hold on.
Holding.
So, all we need is 10 more followers in order to hit affiliate, which allows you all viewers to give us biddies to be able to do the obols, as well as get emotes and lots of other wonderful things. So please, if you are not currently following, please follow and share the stream and page with friends, so that way we can hit affiliate real fast, because we already have some of the other stuff going on. So this is your Twitch amateur announcement.
You make the shameless plug sound so nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is
If
it.
there's
You're well
one thing
practiced.
I'm good at, it's being shameless.
You know,
Stay
and
tuned for the after hours Twitch.
I definitely have. We have to thank anybody still listening here for putting up with my terrible wannabe accents, but we're doing good, I think. You know?
Oh man, we're all doing
you
our best.
sound
You
better
were
than
good. Yeah, you sounded
Very
wonderful,
well done.
Nick.
Yes.
Yeah, you're good. I like Faradir. I like all your characters, but I like
It's
one
gonna be
person's
fun.
character more so than others. I won't tell you who that is.
For
Stay tuned. No.
beans.
All right, everybody. Take care. Have a good night, and enjoy the rest of your week. And as we say here on the show, live by the die and die by the die.
Die.
I love it.
Toodaloo.
Bye.